Welcome to the Before Floor, the pregame edition of Five on the Floor, brought to you by the Five Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka Three Piece Combo. My man, Mr. Marco Romo, is raving around a jersey of some sort. Apparently, someone won today in soccer. Don't know much about it. Apologies to all my fans. Give us a shout out, Marco. What's going on in the soccer world?
That's a France jersey. I haven't worn this in forever. I'm just hopping on the Mbappe bandwagon. So they just beat England. So France is my team, but they play Morocco. So I'm kind of stuck between that. But
yeah, a lot of upsets going on. I don't know much about soccer, but lots of upsets going on in the World Cup going on right now. And if you want to make sure that you're not upset, make sure you guys subscribe to the Five Reasons YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like the video as well. And make sure you guys, if you're young with a family and you want to make sure that your assets are protected, go to markbrownpa.com. That's marcbrownpa.com. He's the guy who's going to make sure all your financial planning is taken care of, all your assets are taken care of. He's based out of the North Lauderdale area, services the entire area. So pretty much all South Florida, and he's a Heat fan. So you make sure you give him your business and not a Lakers or a Celtics fan. Like I said, reach out to him on his website at markbrownpa.com. That's marcbrownpa.com, or give him a call at 954-866-8513. Now, every single game we play our rapid fire prize picks, and Marco, I'm pretty sure, is undefeated to this point still at this season. Me and Timmy have only missed a couple. So if you play with us, even if one of me and Timmy get it wrong,
at least 90%. At least 90%. We still got A's over here. We got A's.
We're definitely honor roll students here at the Five Reasons pregame show when it comes to the pregame prize pick. So make sure you guys go to prizepicks.com, use the promo code 5, spell that out, FIVE, and like you see on the screen, we'll match your deposit up to $100. So it's pretty much $100 of free money. You can play with as little as $5 every time you play. So you get 20 free plays with that match up to $100. So like I said, go to prizepicks.com, use that promo code 5, FIVE, and make sure you guys get that free money, get that free $100. Gentlemen, Brandon Brown is asking for some prize picks. We are going to have some in our rapid fire section in about 6 or 7 minutes coming up. Hang tight with us, brother. Appreciate you joining us. By the way, like I said, if you guys already have not done that, make sure you guys like the video while we're live. We appreciate that as much. Now, we're playing the San Antonio Spurs, one of the teams that are seemingly actively tanking at this point. But it's hit or miss with this Heat team, whether we play great against the Clippers, we lose against the Grizzlies, we play good against Boston. It's just an inconsistent effort. But Timmy, well, let's start talking about this, because last game was one of the few rare occasions where we saw Jimmy and Bam both have good games and both have impactful games. So I know you wanted to kind of talk about what's developing with Bam Adebayo. So what happened in that game that allowed them to both be successful, and what are you seeing right now in this midst of this Bam Adebayo development?
I think this really Bam just no longer any type of hesitation. And shout out to Brady for asking Spo, but Bam is now knowing what to do on the doubles. He knows when to pass or when to shoot over the double. I 2 games ago I didn't like the Jimmy Bam, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. But it's starting to get a bit more seamless. You have Bam carry the first 3 quarters, and Jimmy say, "Okay, it's my turn now." But they're already afraid of Bam, so it gives you space in. But it's no longer Bam being confused. Like, should I shoot? Should I drive? Should I pass? Like, it just seems like Bam, it's slowed down completely for him. And the last time he played the Spurs, I remember we used to say that the reason why Bam picks up against the Spurs is because Pop didn't put him on the team the first time. But the last Spurs game, Bam did well. And, basically we're seeing now Bam was in that zone. Like, Mateo Mills was here. But Mateo has talked about basically how I'm shooting like 45% from that mid range. Like, it's just everything is just clicking right down for him. Even though it might not look as pretty as he wanted to be, like you say, Bam Garnett, like KG. So it might not be pretty, but it's efficient and it's affecting games. And right now, I think it's interesting too. We mentioned Spurs were one of the few teams who are actually tanking. This could be a trade partner for the Heat. You have Podol, you have Jay Rich, who was Rook 1, Rook 2. You have maybe Dougie McDermott. They might want to know. So this is an interesting trade partner, and an interesting litmus test to. I'm telling you, this is a litmus test. We've already reached Monday. Tuesday was rock bottom. I kind of was happy we beat the Clippers, but it's like the issues didn't go away. They just been masked because they waited for certain games. I'm right now personally. I'm literally in get to January 15 mode right now. Let's just get this team January 15 at 500 or above, it only looks good against elite teams, and there's only about 3 or 4 teams. It looks like the West teams really is who the Heat wake up for, but in the Eastern Conference, so something is missing for that fire in their belly. Maybe we'll take a trade, bring like a crowd or just someone who is tired of maybe a new voice. So I just want to see him to get to January 15th healthy and above 500.
Yeah, and I think that puts, like you said, that makes this team in a good spot because if you're above 500, with the way that the East is set up right now, there's a lot of teams that are in a very small short of games within each other, right? There's the top of the East, obviously Milwaukee, Boston, but behind those two guys, or behind those two teams, it's really, really close where all these teams are as far as the seeding is concerned. So if we can make it to January 15th, right? And now you're in a better position, maybe a couple games over 500. The team is starting to click a little bit better. You're starting to find what rotations work, what rotations doesn't work. Then now you, like you said, the team is in a better position to make those kind of moves where it's more efficient and it's more effective, and the move means something. You're just not making a move to make a move. That's not something you want to do and just break up the chemistry. We've seen that. So, Marco, I want you to talk about just a little bit more about the defensive scheme that the Spurs have. Obviously, Brandon Brown letting us know that Jakob Poeltl is out. So that's going to make things just a little bit easier for him, but Bam Adebayo. So what do Bam and Jimmy, because I believe they're both playing tonight, what do both guys need to do to be as successful together as they were last game?
I'm glad you brought up those two because I was going to go off of Jimmy's point about Bam and Jimmy having good games. Recently, I forget who posted it, but somebody posted that the best pick and roll duo for Miami this year is Bam and Jimmy at 1.25 points per possession, just barely beating Tyler and Bam by like 0.2. But I'm surprised about that because those two have, they've had their issues, having, kind of chemistry together on the floor. It's about sometimes one guy's on, one guy's off, but the fact that they're clicking with the pick and roll there, I want to see them attack that more, especially with the Spurs who use a lot of drop coverage. But that's mostly including Jakob Poeltl. They like to kind of muck things up to the ball handlers. They like to kind of, make you make quick decisions. They're not good at it because, they're young. But they like having Jakob back there because they know they can trust him. But without him out there, I wonder what they're going to go to tonight. I think they're going to stick with the drop. Maybe not as heavy as the drop, but I think they're still going to go with it. And Bam and Jimmy might have to maneuver that a little differently, especially because Jimmy's not a shooter. So maybe he tries to attack that space that they give him a lot more. And Bam definitely is going to get a lot of space to operate in that mid to low post. So hopefully they kind of keep going to that. And hopefully Kyle being back, who's actually really good at getting Bam the ball in terms of that free throw line and below. Outside of that, he's kind of tricky. That's more of Tyler's game to get him in the ball, in a better spot. But in those areas where the Spurs are going to give him that all night, Kyle is definitely going to help there. Hopefully, he's back and feeling healthy, after that short break that he definitely deserved. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how Miami attacks kind of that Bam and Jimmy pick and roll that was kind of clicking the Boston game and the last game as well.
Yeah, and like you said, that number is quite surprising because with what we've seen from the Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo pick and roll, like that's just been money every single time. So for the Jimmy and Bam pick and roll to just be as effective, if not just a little more, it shows that there is potential there. So the worry about this team has always been, okay, they're great defensively. How are they going to mesh offensively? If we're able to have at least like two go-to guys now, it makes it so much better, and a couple more go-to actions. It just alleviates the offensive pressure that this team has constantly had over the couple of years, just struggling to create good looks. Now, let's get to the Spurs a little bit, Timmy. They're one of the worst defensive team. I mean, 30th ranked on opponents' points per game, fast break points per game, opponents' assists per game. They're 30th in about 10 defensive categories. So this is an opportunity for one of our Heat players that, RV isn't our part of our core to step up. So obviously we've had some hit or miss games with Max, with Caleb. I don't think Gabe is playing tonight, but we've had a couple of our bench players have some good games and also have some bad games. We haven't had the consistency of the bench that we've had over the last couple of years. So out of the guys coming off the bench, who do you think needs this game the most just to kind of get that confidence boost going into the end of the year?
Happy you asked us to bring about that, even though this is the type of game you'd want to maybe play a Jovic or play a Heisman to just get some reps. We're playing 6 games in the season. We're past the quarter mark. Spurs wants to set his rotation. And remember, this is the time last year when he went that run with the COVID guys and they run some games. Depot is back. Depot literally has, what is today's date? The 10th. Depot has basically a month and about 5 days till he can be traded. Just 35 days till he can be traded. Depot has more to prove than anybody on this roster that he's worth the 12 million investment and the trade deadline move that didn't happen last year and the one that actually happened last year for him. This is his 35 days to prove that he can be what they expect him to be off the bench. And I do think this is where Spurs is going to lock up the rotation to 8 players, which are, you will have Larry, Jimmy, Tyler Kidd, and Bob starting with Deadman, Strus, and Depot off the bench. I think he sticks hard and fast to that 8 mark. Drew will probably get some reps just so Larry doesn't have to play 40 minutes. But I really think that this is Depot's time. Depot has 35 days and about 20 games to prove. Please don't trade me in Sally Dump. I want to be here. I worked my ass off to get there. Please just let me prove it. And I even though he looked rusty, like I didn't like all of the negative comments. Like, this guy has been through a lot. His good knee failed him the last 2 months because it was overcompensating for the last 3 years. The knee that he had surgery on is perfect. It was his good knee, and it's not chronic. So the doctors told him. So this is his time to shine, prove that you were my pick for 6 months a year for a reason. Like, come in, carry this office, this bench is 29th into something that could be much more better than we know it can be.
Yeah, the addition of Victor Oladipo, because coming into the season, or let's say when we signed him, we thought he was going to be a lot more healthy. And then at the beginning of the year, there was just so many questions. Is he going to play? What's the issue with the knee? So just having him back is great, especially with having Gabe Vincent out. Sometimes Gabe won't give you the offensive end and will just give you the defense. At least we know we're getting that same thing with Vic, right? We're going to get the defense that that he can give you. Marco, answer me as well. Touch on who you think needs to have a good game for the Heat, and then also close us out before we get to our rapid fire on who is the most dangerous guy on the Spurs that we need to look out for.
Honestly, nobody on the Heat really needs. If they're a much better team than they think they are, they need to. Just one guy having a decent game should be enough to kind of win this by like 10 points at least. And I think I'm looking at probably a guy like Bam tonight. Again, I think he's going to, especially with Jakob out, that really changes it. I was going to go with Tyler, but without Jakob out there, it's got to be Bam. I think he's going to eat. And, he loves going against the Spurs, as Timmy mentioned, about that pop thing. But outside of that, yeah, it's going to be just one guy having a good game should be enough. But again, this team, you never know. So hopefully it is just, maybe it's just one of Kyle and Bam or two of them or something like that. Just one guy having a decent game, because I know what Jimmy's going to give me, and just some other guys stepping up for just a little bit should be enough. And somebody on the bench needs to, score. So maybe it is Victor, maybe it is Max, or just any points.
Someone on the bench has to exist.
Yeah, exist. Just out there. Just be out there, not just doing cardio. But on the Spurs, Keldon Johnson, that's my guy. Yeah, exactly, right there. Devin Vassell too, but yeah, Keldon Johnson has been my guy since his rookie year. He had a rough second year, but he was just kind of going through the growing pains. I'm really glad that's Pop stuck with him. He plays kind of a weird hybrid, small forward, power forward, because that man is built. He is built. Reminds me a lot of Josh Hart, but he has way more offensive game than Josh Hart. He's gonna be out there just kind of bullying his way around. I think he kind of looks up to Jimmy without looking up to Jimmy, because he loves bullying guys to the rim like that. So he's going to be one guy I'm afraid of, especially athletically, because, he's not the most athletic guy, but he's just more athletic than a lot of the wings on the team. So I expect to see Caleb on him a lot. So hopefully he can, hold his ground in terms of girth.
Yeah, gotta have that girth definitely down low. So let's get to the rapid fire prize picks, guys. So couple of good plays, and Timmy, we'll start with you on this one. Let's go points, rebounds, assists for Bam Adebayo. They got him at 33.5 for points, rebounds, assists. This man is going over.
Through the roof. That's it? Oh, yeah, man. I feel it. Because I used to look at the rosters. Their backup center is Gorgie Dieng. Like, come on now. Put some respect in Bam's name,
Yeah, that's like you said, that's a really low number in my opinion.
That's supper for him.
I don't think the bookmakers and all that have caught up to Bam yet. Like the national media hasn't either. So it'll be a while before they catch up to what he's doing.
Yeah. So right now we're on over on the Bam's point, rebounds, assists, over 33.5. If you guys are keeping track, I'm gonna go with Tyler Hero over 2.5 3-point shots made. I think with the terrible, they allow the most 3-point shots made against them of any team. So Tyler Hero will have the opportunities. And for Marco, they have. We'll rotate around twice because we have a couple of extra players here. So let's start off with Kyle Lowry, Marco. They have him here at points and assists at 18.5. How you feeling about that number?
A little tricky. Honestly, I might go under because I think Miami might, because they might have a blowout on their hands, and he might not even play like the fourth quarter. It's going to be a lot like that game against Charlotte where, he didn't play even. I don't think he played that fourth quarter at all. So it might be just a case of him not playing enough to get those points and assists total. And I think he's going to be like, everybody else has got this. Hopefully that'll be the case. But hopefully Cobb doesn't mess up my unbeaten streak. So I'll go under, but barely.
Yeah, so 18.5 points and assists. I think that's a good under, especially like you said. This is one of the games where everybody can pop. So Marco, I'll let you go 2 for 2 in a row because we're going around. Victor Oladipo is on the board and he's at 2.5 rebounds. You going over on that? You go under.
Honestly, I think he'll play. If it is a blowout, he's probably going to get a lot of minutes, honestly. So I might go over on that. Yeah, I could see a 4 rebound game. He used to average that. He used to average 21, 5, and 4. So, yeah, why not go over for that? Especially if it's a blowout, then he might get more minutes than they probably ask him to. And especially because he needs to get his legs under him.
Yeah, exactly. The opportunity's there. Like I said, no Gabe Vincent. That helps it a little bit more too. Timmy, I'll let you finish off. Do you want to do Jimmy Butler or would you prefer doing Caleb Martin?
Caleb.
All right, so we got Caleb here at 10.5 points. Are you going over on that or under?
Well, I really like the guy, man. I just was watching his second quarter again. He had 16 points in the second quarter, and he was pulling those jumpers with confidence. Remember last year, he used to look a bit funny, but he fixed his form. And I interviewed him when he said Bahamas, and he said he has to just now change his mindset to I belong here. I'm no longer just a role player. Like they paid me this money, they give me this role. Like I gotta make something happen. So yeah, man, I think over for sure. Especially if he's gonna be guarded by Doug McDermott or Jeremy Sochan, the rookie. He's gonna hit some jumpers or take a lot of guys out the dribble. I'm confident with that over. Very confident.
Beautiful, Marco. Kick us off on predictions and give us a key to tonight's game.
All right, I've seen a lot of Spurs games. I've been down here close to them. I think Miami's going to handle business, especially an afternoon game where, that's really rough for young teams because they're not used to that. Heat teams should be able to take care of this. I think they will. I weirdly feel confident about it, which kind of scares me. But I think they win by at least 10. I think this kind of gets out of hand by the middle of the fourth quarter, hopefully. But yeah, I see a Heat win by around 10, 12 points. And that's only because of garbage time.
Fair. Timmy, how you feeling on this one?
Yeah, man, double digits at least. That's how I feel. And I know my blowouts in the past have not been confirmed, but I feel oddly confident in a 10-point win tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go with both you guys as well. I do think this is like one of the first blowouts that Miami gets this season, like actual blowouts where we get a lead and we hold it for the game. I think Bam Adebayo is just going to have another good one. Like you said, Marco, the matchup is there for him with no Jakob Poeltl. I mean, that middle is just going to be wide open for him. So the points, rebounds, assists is going to be beautiful because even if he doesn't get the points, it's going to they're going to send doubles at him. And I think it was either Nikias or Brady that wrote about that they're sending more doubles over like the last 7 games rather than the first, like however many over the course of the season. So Bam is seeing more doubles. Like you said, Timmy, he's making more assertive decisions. Those passes are being there, like they're on money, So I think Bam Adebayo has a good game. I think we get a double-digit win, just like both you guys say, and I think we get it done. So like I said, if you guys think Miami is going to win, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the 5 Reasons Sports channel. Make sure you follow our guys over on Twitter. Timmy at Timay. We got Mr. Marco Romo with all the genius takes over on the Twitter. Make sure you guys follow them. And then make sure you guys subscribe to 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. Of course, always keep up with the Miami Heat sports. Go to markbrownpa.com or give them a call 954-866-8513. And we just did your prize picks, right? So make sure you go to prize picks, use the promo code 5. We gave you like 6 picks. Pick 3 or 4 of them. Make your money.
Money in the bank. We don't miss. On the road students, like Jonathan said, we don't miss.
We don't miss. So with that being said, you guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and let's go Heat.